Welcome back to the Wild Things Baseball Network pregame show. Kyle Dawson back with the 10th year manager of the Evansville Otters. He is our fourth opposing manager guest to join the pregame show this year, and thanks for taking a couple minutes here. The first thing I want to ask, and I've done this with Cam Roth and a couple of the other guys that I've talked to as well, I'm just trying to get your background in baseball and kind of what led you to managing and to ultimately to the Frontier League.
Well, really, there was no plan B. When I got done playing, it was trying to stay in baseball in any way, shape, or form. I was lucky enough to land a collegiate coaching position in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And from there, met some people, networked my way to an independent assistant coaching job in Fargo, North Dakota. 2 years later, I was managing in the Frontier League with the Kalamazoo Kodiaks at the time. And from there, it's just been a long, winding road to land me in Evansville, where I've been the last 10 years.
So I want to go back to '98 when you started in Kalamazoo. You spent one season there, then you went to London for a few seasons. You've got a couple championships under the belt, one here in Evansville, one in London, then one when you were in the Northern League as well. What's been the key to success for you as a manager? What's the style? I don't know if there's something that you do maybe that other managers don't, or that you look for in players, whatever that may be.
I just think it's, number one, having a great staff is important, and I don't think there's a better staff in the league than what I have here in Evansville and what I've had the last 6 to 8 years with my bench coach Boots Day, Max Peterson, pitching coach, and Bobby Siegel as my hitting coach. But that's been a factor throughout, having really good assistants when I won championships. But it comes down to evaluation and then just managing the team, knowing when you have to kick them in the butt, and when you have to pat them on the back. But that's been universal throughout. But having good assistants, evaluating the talent you have, and then doing the best with what you got.
Has there been any big differences, the stops that you've made, whether it's Kalamazoo or London or in the Northern League, even just from here in Evansville?
It's just staying the course. I think just doing your homework in the off season, which is imperative. And I know Tony does a lot of that here in Washington. Does a great job putting a good team together. And even when you do the work in the off season and you got what you think is a good team, sometimes it doesn't work out. Just being able to bring in players after the initial, but it gets harder as the season goes on. It's kind of a seller's market right now. There's not a whole lot of players out there, as this season wears down. So it's tough to replace once you don't get it right. And when you're in the championship last year, like Washington was, you want to bring a lot of those players back. And Washington and Joliet were in the championship, and then a year later they're both struggling to win games. But it's no reflection on either Greg Langban or Jeff Isom, two of the best managers in the league without doubt. Two of the guys I respect the most in the league.
I want to ask you about a little bit, I guess this is more of a background type of thing. Some managers in this league and in independent ball in general do all of the signing of the players, acquiring players, doing all that, handle all the player business. Whereas here you have Greg Langban, who is obviously assisting Tony with that kind of stuff. What has been your role in that kind of process? I don't know if you do all of that here in Evansville or what you've done in the past.
Well, throughout my career, that's always been something that I take great pride in is networking and finding my players. I'll take players from anyone. If anyone recommends a player to me, I'll look at it and evaluate it, and then take the player based on my evaluation of the player. But I mean, Max Peterson and Bobby do a great job of bringing players to my desk in the off season and even during the season. And I have a lot of faith and a lot of loyalty in what they bring, and they know what they want. So it's kind of a group effort, but I obviously have the final decision, and obviously it's my fault when it doesn't work out.
You've got a bunch of guys picked up this year. Specifically, it's been a lot of pitchers across the league in general, but guys that I think you look at, and we talk about this all the time. You look at a guy like Pat McGuff and you say he doesn't belong in the Frontier League, and he's back in affiliated ball now, but it may be even more special for a guy like Randy Wynn for you guys that has never had that chance in affiliated ball to get into it. Is that the best part of the job, is seeing those guys sign?
Yeah, without a doubt. That's the best meeting you have in your office with a player. I mean, that's the other meetings in your office aren't usually for that reason. Yeah. Most of them are releasing a player and ending a dream or a career. But now for Randy Wynn to get that opportunity, what he's done the last 3 years, 1 year in the USPL and 2 years with me, has just been everything you ask out of a pitcher as a manager, and just a great kid off the field. And honestly, he was kind of figuring it wasn't going to happen. Go halfway through a season this year and what he did last year, just a strike throwing right-handed pitcher that doesn't really light up the radar gun. But I was really happy that the Reds gave him that opportunity. He's made the most of it. He's up in the Midwest League already, so they've moved him 2 jumps already in his career. So it's great. Yes, that is the best part of this job, that and winning. And you have no guarantees on winning. So when you do get those opportunities to move not only a good pitcher but a great kid up to affiliated for the first time.
Well, you guys have had that success winning as well on the field. What's been the key this year for you guys? I know pitching's obviously been good, and the offense has provided what it has needed to as well.
The offense is down league wide, so there's not much you can say about that. But I'll tell you, the big thing was guys like Tyler Vale and Austin Nicely, who you guys destroyed earlier in the year. I think he scored 10 or 12 runs off him, really turning the season around. You take his first 3 starts out of his ERA, and Austin Nicely has, he's really done a great job for him. I think he's had like a 2.5 ERA if you take those 3 starts out. So him stepping up with Tyler Vale stepping up, I mean, I really had nothing to do with it. Those older guys, experienced guys stepping up when we lost McGuff and Wynn and Herbeck and Pichu really is what got us through losing guys like that.
What's the key for you guys down the stretch run? Is it just continuing to play how you are and continuing to have those veteran guys perform well?
Well, it's going to be the starting pitching's got to keep us in games, which they've done all along. Our starting pitching has been outstanding and kept us in ball games, much like last night. But the offense has got to do a better job. And it's not so much the hits, it's the situational hitting, the little things, because we're not really driving the ball as no one is in the league. So you need to situationally hit. You need to get runs when you can. We had a man on second with nobody out and didn't score him in a 2-1 game. And if you score that run there, it's 2-2. Anything can happen. And just missed opportunities, I think, more than anything. And you look league wide, Strecker. You're not gonna score too often off a guy like Zach Strecker. So you better get your runs before the 8th or 9th inning, especially. But we need the offense to step up a little bit. I still think we have a good offensive team. We just have to do a little better job of taking advantage of opportunities, and our bullpen needs to step up a little bit. Taylor Wright's done a great job for a rookie closer in this league. He's done a fantastic job. Some of the other guys need to step up. We've been doing a better job in the bullpen, but we need to do a little better job there. But it comes down to offense. This has always been an offensive-driven league, year in, year out. The 10 years I've been in Evansville and the 25 years I've been in independent baseball, it's driven by offense, and this is the first time in a long time where I've really seen league-wide and even independent ball-wide just the lack of hitting.
We're talking with 2014 Roger Hanners Award winner for Manager of the Year, Andy McAuley. He's in his 10th year with the Evansville Otters. I wanted to ask you about that. I'm glad you brought it up because I asked Jeff Heisem about it the other day when I talked to him. What do you think it is, the league being down? Is it a lot of the people have told me another rookie ball team and affiliated is hurt? The rookies in this league, and you're not getting as many experienced guys. Some people have maybe pointed to the age limit in the league is something that maybe could go up and you get more experienced guys. And is there something that sticks out that why the league hitting us down?
It's a combination of everything you mentioned there. Affiliateds needed more younger players. It's the combination of us going down a year in age and having to get rid of some quality hitters. You look at Florence alone, losing Ewing and Burgess. I mean, 2 quality guys, and I'm willing to bet every team lost 2 offensive players that they relied on. To be in the middle of the lineup type guys, that, and then you mix that with the fact that the club ball, the travel ball concept that is starting to come. The guys here that are playing now all went through travel ball type programs where you're always the best player on the team, and if you're not, you go to another club. The strikeout has gotten a part of a regular basis. It doesn't have the stigma or the negative connotation of the strikeout anymore, to where guys are just more involved in exit velocity and launch angle, which contributes to and it's just trickled down. Major leagues are in the same boat we are, not at the despicable level, but their strikeouts are up, their walks are way up, and the home runs are up, but it's a boring brand of baseball, and I think that's trickled down to the lower levels, to where it's not as, they're a heck of a lot more talented up there than they are here, and you're just swinging for the home run every time up, you're going to have some trouble at the lower levels. And I think that's where we're in right now. That mixed with, like I said, it's not a big deal to strike out anymore. Where in years past, Boots Day to the day he dies, we'll be able to say face Nolan Ryan 17 times and never struck him out once. So, and he's proud of that and should be. That's something that not many people can say, that they faced Nolan Ryan and never struck out.
I want to get you out with this. I want to ask, you've been in the league long enough to be around it and know this league really well. What keeps you coming back to this league, and what makes this league so special?
It is as frustrating as this age level is with the baseball IQ and the experience. It still is an age level where they're hungry. They still have aspirations of moving on. And for the most part, are receptive. I've managed 7, 8, 9 years in the Northern League, which is now the American Association, where you're getting mostly AA, AAA guys, which have been with 2 or 3 organizations, have had long success. You don't have, you have a better automatic game of baseball, a more fundamental game of baseball, but you don't have the energy, you don't have the aspiration, you don't have the eagerness to play the game, and that's what brings me back to the Frontier League. It is a great dynamic. It is a good setup. It is a good age level to where guys are still in their prime and still learning to move on and move up. And we moved 5 guys this year, and there's no better feeling than that. And that's what keeps me coming back.
That's Andy McAuley, the 10th-year skipper of the Evansville Otters, here on the Wild Things Baseball Network pregame show. We'll have lineups and first pitch coming up for you here for Game 2 of today's doubleheader. That's when we're going to play this. So we'll be ready for Game 2 coming up next on the Wild Things Baseball Network.